Ryan Bass. New data released by the state shows exactly how many cases of coronavirus are in our local schools. And now they aren't the only ones who are tracking it. 10 Investigates' Jennifer Titus spoke tonight with a data scientist who says she created the state's COVID-19 dashboard. She's since been let go, but built the dashboard of her own and is now crafting another, all to help with transparency and safety.
There really needs to be a national database for schools that does this kind of thing, and there wasn't. And I saw that as there's an information gap here, so let's fill it.
This is Rebekah Jones. You may remember her name from a few months back when she says she was removed from her position with the Department of Health after questioning why certain data was not being used in the state report.
The idea for this project actually came from a Florida teacher who messaged me on Twitter at the end of July saying that she taught during the summer school session and knew of teachers and students who were positive, but she didn't see anything in the local news about it, and she thought somebody should know.
She is now working on this, a dashboard she has created along with a national nonprofit, and they are doing their best to track coronavirus cases school by school in every state.
So first, what I did was I checked and made sure that nobody was doing this on a federal level. And I started looking at individual states and how they were doing it, which is evolving very quickly. Just this past weekend, DOH said they're going to start releasing, by county students and staff that are positive.
And the Department of Health did just that, not just releasing data for elementary, middle, and high schools, but also child care centers and colleges. You can see in just the past 2 weeks, there have been hundreds of cases and dozens of outbreaks associated with schools. And while this adds transparency to the state data, it's not the same across the board when it comes to state by state.
And the way that they collect it is different from the way they report it. Mississippi actually has one of the most robust reporting methods internally for case data. Every single Friday, every single school reports on how many positive cases they've had or people are quarantined. They don't release that granular data yet.
And Jones hopes with more pressure put on school districts, state, and federal leaders, a universal tracking system for COVID and schools will be created on a national database. Until then, guys, you can check out Jones's free dashboard by just visiting this story on our website, 10tampabay.com.
So how many cases are there in Florida as far as schools? Let's take a deeper dive. In the last 2 weeks, there have been 38 outbreaks, 559 cases, and 14 hospitalizations associated with elementary, middle, and high schools in the state of Florida. Those hospitalizations only include children under the age of 18. Since March 1st through today, there have been 62 outbreaks, 1,910 cases, 95 hospitalizations, and 2 deaths. A lot of numbers there, but you can find that in this story on 10tampabay.com.